you are the guy, like you did it and they couldn't. This is a puzzle. Look at it as a puzzle. These are the sentences they are talking about. Take that puzzle, put it in the right place, and know their brain through it. This is like a map to their brain. Start thinking about what's going on in their head. If you know what's going on in their head, then you will know what to talk, what to say in the next sentence. I think I'm pretty good at it already. In the last video, I talked about the 3 key points of my technique of sales, where I don't push the prospect to a point where he or she feels uncomfortable to take the decision with us. And the third part was persuasion. And today we are going to talk about how to persuade the other person to think you are the best person for them. Hi, this is Bipasha, and I run a content marketing agency, and I also have a coaching business where I help people to learn sales in an ethical way where they can make a sale with love. So that's about it, and let's get started. So, persuasion. How to do it. The first and foremost thing you should do to persuade a person is to know all about and have a really good intuition, or like develop a pattern recognizing skill in your brain. When somebody starts to talk, your brain should start thinking, okay, what they are thinking about while they are speaking this sentence. What kind of thinking pattern, what kind of thoughts would project like this kind of sentence out of their mouth? What exactly is they do day-to-day life? That's what you need to know after getting on a call with a person, and then knowing, okay, these are the things they are talking about. So your brain should be like, oh, this is a puzzle. Look at it as a puzzle. These are the sentences they are talking about. Take that puzzle, put it in the right place, and know their brain through it. This is like a map to their brain. This is like a map to their thinking pattern. This is a map like how they make decisions. And once you cracked it, it's gonna be really easy to make sure that you persuade that person to invest in you. How do you develop the skill of pattern recognizing naturally? It's just by talking to more and more people. First, start doing that on the sales calls, and then develop it on your day-to-day life. Every time you're talking to a person, start thinking about what's going on in their head. If you know what's going on in their head, then you will know what to talk, what to say in the next sentence that will persuade them to take the action that you want. And try that with your loved one first. Start to see how they react, but at least do it in a right way. Remember, the key theme of this channel or my business or everything is ethics. So everything that you're doing, do it with the right intention, with the right ethics. So never use all of the techniques that I'm teaching you to do wrong things with business or people. People, love humanity. That's a good thing. So start with your loved ones. Maybe get your parent, like your mom or your dad, to buy you something that you wanted for so long. Maybe don't ask her expensive things, but just like small little things. Then start by your girlfriend or boyfriend, and start by your teachers, your friends. Then expand your horizon to a point where you reach strangers, get strangers to do things for you by recognizing their thought patterns, and then apply that to your sales call. So sales is a really funny thing, like art. You have to spend a lot of time, you have to invest a lot of time into it. You don't need to spend like 10,000 hours into it to master it, although you can, but I didn't. I think I'm pretty good at it already, but you get the point. First, you have to develop a natural intuition about people, and the way to do it is just spending more time with them. And then the second thing is, now that you know what they're thinking about, what are the thoughts behind the words they are speaking, now try to persuade the other person to take the decision you want. How do you do it? The right way to do it is to combat. Think of it as like a chess game or a war or a battle in your mind. Like you have to combat with the right balance of logic and emotion. If you combine the two, it will make great sense. So an example of it will be, if somebody comes to you and they are sharing, remember the first thing is to get them open up and then let them talk and talk, so you know all about them. And the right way to let them talk is to just listen, allow them the space, allow them the stage to talk. And now they have spoken for 45 minutes at least. Now you know everything about, if you actually listen to them. Now use all of the beliefs they said. They might say, I believe in God. If you do also believe in God, relate to that person. Say, oh, this is my experience, stories. So that should be the third step. There's no chronological path that I could tell you. It's really intuition. Sales is intuition, it's art. But you get my point, you get my emotion, you get my logic behind it, right? I hope you do. I bet you do. You're a smart person. But the way to do it is by logically and emotionally balancing your words and tinkle their logical brain. What they think logical, just reiterate that, rephrase that in your story and say the same thing, but in a different way. Same with the emotional part. Like they should think that you're logically and emotionally aligned with them. The third part really comes down to stories or relating to the other person. How do you relate to the other person? Just by sharing similar stories. If they have shared a struggle story with you in that call, do you have similar stories in your life that are somewhat similar to that and you have overcame that? So let's say they are struggling with something, and if you have a story where you have struggled with that in the past, now you have overcame it, now they immediately think of you as the authority. They immediately think that you are the guy, like you did it and they couldn't. So they immediately put trust on you and say, okay, you have done it now. Like, can you help me to do it? So stories. Any other points would be empath. If you can empathetically say to the other person that, okay, yeah, I understand. If something they're saying is emotional to them, like just generally say, okay, yes, you are right. It was hard to do this. It's really struggling or it's really bad that you're going through this. Also show to them that it's their strength that they are going through this. It's only making them stronger. It's only making them ready for the next stage. And share how powerful their story is right now, the story they are building right now. They're going through a struggle. Most likely they haven't been able to tell the struggle to some other person or anybody for that instance, because people are so lonely and distant in today's day and age. If you can be that support or pillar to that person on that point, you can persuade them. So the persuasion is really making the person think that you are one with them. You are the guy. You are the right path for them. I think that's about it. That's how you persuade the other person. But when you have already told them that, yeah, this is what you're going through, okay, then the solution to overcome the struggle is really this, and I can get you that. I can build you that bridge to take you from point A to point B, and I can make that bridge and also handhold you to cross that bridge as well. Now, when you have told that already, they might come up with objections. There are a couple of objections like price. So the right way to handle objection about price is starts with before you even see the price. The right way to see the price is like maybe ask what they really can afford. Like this is really good. I know people say that you should have a right set of pricing set beforehand. I never did that. I always made a sale based on the purchasing power of my prospect at that moment. I asked what exactly the maximum you can spend on this, like what you will feel comfortable spending on this. Most of the time, they have said a number that I was already thinking, or maybe it's more than that. So that's the beauty of it. Like when you make them like say the price and you say, I will do it for that price, what objection they will give you? They told you that price. What objection they can give you? Some of the time you might not trust that prospect. Like if you don't trust that prospect, don't even pitch it. Don't like waste your reputation on them. Like sometimes some people are just not making the decision. And I don't believe in pushy sales. I just always believe in high integrity, saving your reputation and being non-pushy. So if you don't trust, don't pitch. But if you trust, let them tell the price for you. You never know what might come from it. I always made better sales with when I asked the prospect to make the decision of price or make the price point for them. But some of the time the situations might come where you would have to tell the price, or you might also ask them, okay, what you have in savings to spend on this. Like then also you get an idea of their purchasing power. But if you absolutely have to tell the price, just start by telling a bigger prices. Like let's say if my program price is 8,000 or 10,000 at this moment, I will start with 15,000 a month package that I have to pitch the 10,000 one time package. So what I'm saying, the right way to do it is just put a bigger price anchor. It's always comforting for them, because if they hear the bigger price and then if they compare it to the lower one, it would be much relieving for them to go ahead with you for the lower price. But the lower price might be your flagship price. So sales is, persuasion, and it's a really good thing. It's like a game. So treat it as a game. It will be fun. And then sometimes people will be like, I cannot afford it. So then you ask them, okay, if they really cannot afford it at that point, they might have credit cards. So you can ask them them to do that. They might do payment plans. You can ask them to do that. And also ask them, compare it with their day-to-day expenses or monthly expenses that they normally do. Remember, the first 45-minute report build comes in that now you have all of the keys to combat with their battle or like their counter attacks. So if they have told you some key things about their day-to-day lives, okay, you spend this every single month on an unnecessary thing. If you just stop that and invest that in your growth, you might get an ROI on the spend that you are already making by investing in this. So then it gets easier for them. One other thing you can do is provide payment plans. If you provide payment plans, they can also do it. So ask them, okay, if you have to take the decision today, what you can do. And if they tell a price and then you provide something around that, maybe lower some of the other things that you are offering for that higher price and lower the expectation, lower the service delivery, lower the effort, and offer something in that price, what objection might come from a high integrity person? They told you they can afford that and you lowered the price. Why would they object if they are a good person? So you also have to keep that in mind, like not all of them will buy from you. So be okay with that. But some good people will not object to this wisely placed objection handling methods. The second thing might come time. They don't have time. The right way to combat that is they always have time. They always have spare time that they're wasting on other things. You just have to ask them where they are spending their time and or make the time for your program on that spot, that this is the time you can use to be successful using this. Or if your service can eliminate the time objection like by delivering on it, then you already handled the time objection. The third objection that might come, that you don't have any testimonials. Most of the time it's not an issue if the prospect is already sold on you, but if they are not, you offer them a guarantee, because that's what you have to do when somebody don't trust you. So put a contract together where you tell them, okay, I will give you a guarantee. I need a chance. I'm starting this new business and I would love for you to put your trust on me and do this favor for me. And as a reward of doing that, as a reward of putting your trust on me and being my first customer, I would love for you to get a guarantee. If I don't provide value that you want, no question asked, you get the money back and have the integrity to do it. And if you can do that, then you handle testimonial objection because that's your first client or maybe a different product that you're selling. And if you already have other products that you have sold and you have testimonials for that, then you say it might not be for this particular offer I got this testimonials, but these people put their trust on me and they got phenomenal results. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to duplicate. And always have conviction in your offer. If conviction is in your voice, confidence is in your voice, people would feel comfortable being in your shelter. You are bringing them in your shelter. If your shelter's foundation is not good, people will not be comfortable being there. You're just being a mother or father figure for them in this aspect. So the right step for you will be to make sure your product is so good that you feel so good and proud to talk about your product. If you can feel proud about your product, your sale is already done. So that, my friend, is how you persuade the other person to invest in you. And it was a mixture of sales techniques and everything and objection handling, but the right word for it was always persuasion. So that's about it. Bye for now.